Question number 8, determine the greatest common factor. What do they have in common? So we're going to pull out what they have that is the same. So what can we pull out of these? Let's focus on our exponents first. You guys are getting pretty good with these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. X to the 6 looks like that expanded. And then x to the third. 1, 2, 3. What do they have in common? They both have those 3 x's being multiplied. So what do they have the same? X to the third power. So you can eliminate this one and this one. So now it's between these. Can I divide by a 2? Can I divide by an 8? You can divide both of these by 2, but if you do, you will be able to divide again. So we want the greatest common factor. We can divide this by 8. 8 divided by 8 gives us a 1. And also we can divide this by 8, and that gives us a 4. So what do they have in common? We can divide them both by 8. Answer choice B. Number 9. Factor completely. Factor completely is the snowflake. So we want to break this down, but if you'll notice in your answer choices, you have something out front. So that one means that you might have an extra step that we usually don't do. We have GCF. Can we pull something out of each piece? So can we pull a 3 out? Can we divide by 3? Yes, we can. And if you're not sure about this, again, use your Desmos, type it in. So we're going to divide each piece by 3. Divide by 3. And that's where this 3 is going to come in handy. So it's not going to be these because they're missing the 3. So what's going to be left? We have the 3 out front. 3 divided by 3 is 1x squared plus 15 divided by 3 is going to give us the 5x. And then when you divide 42 by x, negative 42, you're going to have that negative. Don't forget the negative. And then you're going to have 14. And again, if you didn't know that, that's fine. You can type in 42 divided by 3 on your Desmos. So when we do our snowflake, I'm going to use the space above it to do my snowflake. My A, B, and C values are what's left over. We have a 1, we have a positive 5, and we have a negative 14. So when we do our snowflake, A times C is in the top, negative 14. B is in the bottom. And then we're going to find numbers that multiply together to give us 14, but that combine to give us 5. This is the step that is the most frustrating to you guys. So take your time, make your list. 1 times what gives you 14? 14. Can you add or subtract those to get a 5? No, so you move on. 2 times what is 14? And again, if you don't know, you can type it into Desmos. You just go backwards. 14 divided by 2. That gives you a 7. 2 and a 7 multiply together to give you that 14. Can we add or subtract them to get a 5? Yes, we can have 7 minus 2. And a positive times a negative gives you this negative that you needed. So now here we're going to do your AX. So 1x and 1x. So this was A times C. The bottom was B. And these are AX. Can you reduce? No. So we're looking for 1x and then plus 7. Right there. And that's the wrong sign. And then over here we have 1x minus 2, which is here. So the answer choice is A. So to double check yourself, we go in and we can type in the original question. The original question was 3x squared plus 15x minus 42. Okay, and that gives you your parabola. And push, pull, and drag it so that you can see it. And then we're going to type in our answer choice. 3, and then parentheses, x plus 7. If you make the mistake of getting your signs backwards, this step is really going to help you make sure that you got it right. So when you type it in again, you tap back and forth. It's in the same spot. It's changing colors. That means that you did it right, tapping back and forth from your question to your answer. Number 10. Which expression is equivalent to that? Okay, so we want to go down the line, and we can't just start combining like terms because we have a fraction right next to the parentheses, and that means multiply. So we're going to multiply. We're going to multiply this by each thing inside the parentheses. So we have 7x squared minus, and then we're going to say negative 3/5 times, oh, we got to get up, times 5. Remember, we don't type in our variables. That answer is going to be a negative 3. So we have a negative 3, and we put that x on it. And then we can just go in and edit what we typed. Now we're going to multiply it by a negative 8. And the answer that we get is 4.8. And it's going to be a positive 4.8. Now down here you have fractions, but we can double check by typing in the fraction after. So now I'm going to put my x squares together. You have 7. You have 9 more. How many do you have all together? You're going to have 16 x squares. So not these. Then we go to our next group, our x's. You have negative 3x. That's right here. Not this. And then if you want to check to see if that is the same thing, you can just type it in. 24 divided by 5. And did it give us the same thing? It gave us 4.8. So that means that they are equivalent. And you can type in this on Desmos and your answer, and they should overlap again so that you can check yourself and make sure that you're right.